Hello, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. This is your tarot reading for the week ahead whenever you're finding this. If you're watching along as I post because you're subscribed, this is for the week of November 10th through the 16th, 2025. First card out for you is the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay, this can show some speed. Things are moving really quickly, or you feel like somebody is moving really, really quickly. There could be some fear around this because it's like you're making these decisions really fast, whether this is you or someone else. You know, there's this feeling of great speed. We have the Queen of Coins in reverse. So this is your feminine energy in reverse here, Virgo. This could also represent somebody else in your life. I just get this uncomfortable feeling, kind of like slightly uncomfortable feeling of like you thinking somebody is moving really fast or moving on really fast, or something's happening really fast, somebody's making a decision really quickly, and you're just like, don't you want to stop and think about this a little bit longer? I don't know, this could be like a child of yours. If you have like an adult child, some of you guys maybe feeling they're making a decision too quickly. This could be another family member. This could be somebody watching. This could be an ex of yours moving on into a new relationship, and you're just like, we just broke up. I don't know, maybe a best friend. It could be really anyone. It depends on who's watching. Or this could even be your own life where things are moving very quickly and you're just like, I just need to like really have a day to just settle down and think about things, you know? I know so many Virgos. I know a lot of Virgos. And I feel like you guys thrive. A lot of the earth signs thrive when you have some time and space to really thoroughly think things through and let an idea sort of settle with you. I think earth signs are more comfortable in like moving slowly and making sure that things are secure and settled and promised, you know, as opposed to rushing and making impulsive decisions. So that the way in which the energy is moving this week may make you a little bit uncomfortable, but let's see where this is leading. 10 of Swords in reverse. Second row of cards out, the Star in reverse. Temperance upright. Judgment in reverse. Wow. Yeah, I can't help but think oh, man. I was gonna say, I can't help but like tune into whoever's watching where it's like, this is talking about your ex who's moving on very quickly to someone else, and the heartbreak that comes alongside that. And also, I don't know, I'm getting so many different examples from you guys, and I just want to give you all a hug because they all feel difficult, you know? For some of you, this is your child making a decision impulsively, and you're just feeling like they just don't care about your opinion, or they don't care whether you're the first person to know or not. And the sort of heartbreak that comes with like being out of the loop now, regardless of who this is in your life, there's a sort of like, okay, this is really it. You know, I'm never getting back those years when they were in diapers, or if this is an ex, like I'm never getting back those years where I was their favorite person. We knew everything about each other. Like there's some sort of realization, like a sinking in of reality this week that is in the long run going to be really good for you, with the Temperance card coming out emotionally, you know? Whatever's happening this week, it's really going to snap you back into reality, into the reality of a situation here. With the 10 of Swords in reverse and Judgment in reverse, to me, this combination, because this is coming out like on top of each other, 10 of Swords in reverse is this card of like, yeah, this is something that is never going back to the way it was before. No chance. And then with the Judgment card underneath it, it also comes along with the conscious decision of, I don't want to go back to the way things were before. You know, it's like the conscious decision to let something or someone go, or let a chapter end. Let people make their own bad decisions. Actually, this came out for Capricorn's reading last week, I'm pretty sure, where there was someone in their life making a bad decision, but I think their piece of advice was to see how they were reflected in that decision. Because sometimes when you get really upset with other people, or even very positively emotional about other people, like you're in love with someone else, oftentimes the things you love about them are things that you carry yourself. The things that you're extremely jealous about or hate within other people, you tend to have something there within yourself as well. You know, for example, the reason why homophobic people hate gay people so much is because a lot of them are actually closeted themselves, and there's a sort of self-hatred thing going on there. Otherwise, why would you care so much? You know, that's an example. But yeah, that's why I'm trying to say, like, when you have strong emotional reactions to people, there's oftentimes something within yourself that may be going ignored, neglected, unseen, that other person expresses freely and openly. And this is why I oftentimes see, for example, a lot of empaths and healers in these relationships with horrific narcissists and selfish people. Because a lot of empaths, a lot of healers have a wound, not all of them, but a lot of them have a wound, usually childhood wounds, where they sort of overgive or people please and need to be more selfish, you know, which is funny because a lot of spiritual teachings are like, you need to let go of the ego. I think that definitely applies to like half of the population, but I feel like the other half of the population needs to do the exact opposite and cultivate more ego, you know, and a lot of healers and lovers and givers have that wound where they need to cultivate more ego. And when they don't do that and they don't know how to set appropriate boundaries and say no and say, I deserve better, they tend to attract people who are narcissistic, selfish. And the way in which you, if that's you, are mirrored in that other person is because that person is showing the exact traits that you need to cultivate within yourself, that do exist within yourself, that have been going ignored for so long. That ego, self-preservation, self-focus, okay? Because those feelings are neglected within you and unseen within you and begging to come out, you manifest it externally through a person who has those same traits, but perhaps on like an extreme level. So you know what I mean? It's like the people who really get us the most emotional, whether it's positive or negative, there's something within that person that we can connect to within ourselves. We're all connected. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. That was my tangent. It's early in the morning. My caffeine's still kicking in. Yeah, I just feel like there's some sort, I don't know why, wow, this isn't positive at all, but I don't sugarcoat readings. It's coming through. I'm going to say it. Brutal realization about where you stand in other people's lives. Or this could be a brutal realization that all people have free will. And some people use that free will to do things that we might not agree with, or that may make us feel, I don't know, scorned or disrespected, whatever. But I do feel, because the Temperance card is coming out upright, I do feel like you're handling this with a lot of grace. And I don't think you are doing anything or saying anything unhinged to this person, you know. You may want to, but you are really good at keeping it calm and centered. And I feel like you're very mindful about how you communicate and what you communicate. You know, you think before you speak, which is very wise, Virgo. But yeah, there's some sort of deep realization of like, oh, I don't want to go back, which is healing, especially if this is an ex or anything like that. That moment where you're like, I don't want to go back. If this person tried to come back, I would say no. Okay, but yeah, there could be definitely, I don't know, just feels like a sort of connection here, because we had the Queen of Coins in reverse next to the Knight of Swords in reverse. Some of you guys may have been dealing with somebody younger than you or vastly less mature than you or experienced than you, with them being extremely impulsive. This could have been somebody with strong air placements, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, doesn't have to be though. Very impulsive, reckless with communication, etc. And, you know, that's the thing. Everybody has light and shadow attributes. And it's very important to be mindful about who we surround ourselves with, because some people really bring out the worst in us. Like, you could be an amazing person. I know you're an amazing person, Virgo. I know you have such beautiful qualities. You bring so much to the table. You bring so much to the world. And it just saddens me when people like that end up in connections or surrounded by people who, like I said, bring out the worst in you, make you feel defensive, or really triggers these old wounds that you felt like you've already healed, but now they're being re-triggered, and you're reacting in sort of, you know, your old ways, old coping skills, etc. Yeah. It's just best. With the Star in reverse, it's best for you to let other people make their own decisions. The book Let Them by, what's her name, Mel Robbins, I think. I would highly recommend that to Virgos at this time. Basically, the book talks about this theory of just letting people do, say, and act however they're going to, not trying to control them, not trying to change their opinion. Like, oh, you want to get married to that person that you just met 2 days ago? That's fine. Let them. And then the second part of that is let me, which is like, okay, so here's what I'm going to do in response to preserve my dignity and self-respect and choose the best, healthiest path forward for all involved. It's a very good mindset to be in. And it really helps you learn and embody respect for other people, which I actually low-key think a lot of people struggle with. This isn't really something that's come to the surface a lot in the collective yet. But yeah, I think a lot of us grew up under parents who didn't necessarily have that respect for us, of letting us be who we want to be. So many people have some sort of parental woundings around like, oh, my parent wanted me to be a doctor, or they wanted me to get married at this age, or do this thing, or have grandchildren, or whatever, fill in the blank, and got mad when I instead, I don't know, fill in the blank, became an artist and was a lesbian and blah, 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 whatever. That's a wounding around respect. And, you know, I don't really think many people dove into the fact that they could at times be the person who did that wounding with other people. Like, you may have had that wounding, for example, and then in your personal relationships, you keep trying to heal people and change them because you see their highest potential. And you're like, I know you can do better. I know you can be better. So, like, you keep encouraging and staying in the hopes that somebody is going to change. That is an example of not inherently respecting that person's free will to do what they want and make the bad choices that they want, or the good choice, the neutral choices that they want. Because you're not fully accepting what they're saying to you or what their actions are saying to you. Like, for example, somebody's actions may be saying to you, I don't care about you, Virgo. I'm doing all these things to disrespect you, and you still stay because you know they can do better, blah, 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 blah. We're done with that timeline now. You know, completely done with that timeline this week. With the 10 of Swords in reverse, Judgment reverse, you're never going to be that person again, which is such a good thing. Oh my gosh. And a part of that is cultivating more self-respect. So Virgo, cultivate a little bit more of that ego in the mirror. Like, I am strong, I am beautiful, I hold boundaries, I am friendly, I am assertive. All of the things that you feel like may be lacking or that you don't feel about yourself, that you should feel about yourself, say it in the mirror every day. That's what I want to say. And take good care of yourself in this journey, all right? Thank you so much for joining me. Definitely watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs to get the fullest overview of this week ahead. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe if you have not already. Yeah. Bye.